The Acolyte, episode 1, titled Lost Found, and this episode is absolutely dull. This is the beginning of the brand new Star Wars show. I was looking forward to this. I was looking forward to the show way back in 2020 when they first announced it. There was like something with the Sith, like the origins of the Sith or the point of view of the Sith, or the first time that the Jedi fought the Sith and then finding out what the Sith was and is and all that. I'm like, okay, this sounds cool. Awesome, sign me on board. But sadly, after watching this first episode, I'm like, of it. I'm like, of it. Because this whole first episode feels like they're more interested in telling you about this world than showing it. Like, this whole episode is people explaining things without showing it and talking about relationships that us, the viewer, have no connection with because we haven't experienced this relationship before. Like, okay, there's this whole thing about, um, okay, so it begins, and I won't lie, the action sequence at the beginning was quite neat and quite cool when the music was great, but the title card after it, I was like, what is happening? They're just giving us information jargon. Like they're talking about a main character, Osa. Osa, was part of the giant order, but isn't anymore, and because they believe she murdered a giant order, someone a fellow Jedi, because there's someone that looks like her, that they are going to take her in. And what happened is they just explain her entire backstory in a span of 5 minutes. And I'm like, can you just do that? This feels like the most like TV-esque. It feels the most like, hey, we don't have the budget to do all this stuff. So we're just going to explain it all to you just so we can just move on. And for me, I'm like, I want to know the relationship that she has with Gyro, not getting told by it. I wanted to see it. I wanted to know what she felt and feel and emotionally, like what is her as a character, so we can understand her more as a character. You know, you have um, uh, Soul, Soul played by Lee Han Jan, and how he's connected, like Soul is so connected to Hosa, and how has a soft spot for her, but I have never seen their relationship, so I don't know the context. Like it's basically because I don't know the all I see is visual noise because I don't know the emotional context. I am like, yeah, I know, like, no, I understand the emotional context, but the inner emotional context. And this is the problem with these Disney Plus shows, is because these shows are like 30, like, this is, 42 minutes long, so like 38 minutes, 38 minutes if you don't include the credits. Because these episodes are so short, they're unable to expand for whatever reason it is, budget reasons or just narrative reasons or writing reasons, whatever, and they're unable to just expand and do the character development that's going to whip us as an audience better. And I was like, cool. Like, we're diving into the higher public. This is an area that I'm unaware of. But looking at the higher public right now, I'm like, okay, so it's the prequels, but with, unknown characters. It's that Obi-Wan and Anakin and Yoda and all that. It's these folks. It's just... Hopefully, and you don't know what the high public is. High public, Like this show is set 100 years before the events of the prequels, before Episode One. So before 100 years before the start of the Skywalker saga. Um, but yeah, and then it's just it felt you know what it is. It felt like the most TV. It felt like we don't have the budget to do the stuff that we would normally do, which is showing you all this stuff. But yeah, then you do the whole spoiler alert. You do the long lost sister thing, and it's a mystery of the long lost sister. And I figured out probably like a twin sister event. They try to make a big reveal, but it's not that much of a big reveal. I figured it out. I'm not. It's not a good start. It's not a good start for me. I just felt this episode could have been longer, expand on those characters, have us understand the relationships more, understand those personal stakes, and we should like this whole thing of wait till episode 2, episode 3 is gonna start. That's when the show really picks up. It's the first episode. You should be boom. This is what the episode's about. Boom. This is what the show. Make it must-watch TV by episode 1. Don't by episode 3 where it's nearly halfway through. Just no fan. Clearly, no fan of the Acolyte so far. But I will check episode 2.